A culture swap?
Swap my culture.
Liam, what did we do this time on Culture Swap?
We did the Wicked and the Divine because I think we both had it. And
Yeah, it was just pure chance, wasn't it? Last episode I looked up on my shelf and went, oh, I've got the Wicked and the Divine.
And I was like, I've got that downstairs, haven't read it yet. Why
Yeah.
not? Why not, basically?
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't really know a lot about it. Like I hadn't even read the back cover that gives you like the basic synopsis.
No, I hadn't either.
So I just knew that a lot of people were like talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite old, isn't it? It's been around since 2014.
Yeah, which isn't that old, really. Like, I mean, 4 years.
It's not compared to your 30 years of life, but...
Yeah, exactly. Should I read out the synopsis on the back?
Yeah, sure.
Every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people.
There wasn't a comma there.
What?
You paused as if there was a comma. Can you read it again, please?
Do you want to read it?
No, keep going.
All right. Do you want me to start again?
Yeah, from the beginning.
Every 90 years...
No, you're pausing. Don't pause there. What you're looking for, Liam, is there are little dots after some of the words. They're full stops.
Okay, cool.
That's a breath.
Okay, got it. All right.
And then commas are sort of a half breath.
Okay, got it. Every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. They are loved. They are hated. In 2 years, they are all dead. I can't do it like that. It's happening now. It's happening again. That's the synopsis. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what it was about.
I mean, that's the overall premise. Listeners, if you haven't read this, there are going to be spoilers. If you're interested in reading it, maybe, hit pause on us, go and read it, come back, and then...
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, it's an easy read in that I started reading it a couple of nights ago, and I was like, I'll read half tonight, and then half tomorrow night, and then we'll record the next night, sort of thing. Yeah. And I ended up just sitting down and reading it all in one sitting.
Yeah, I did it all in one sitting as well.
Yeah, like, it's quite... It's not that Moorish, but it's just...
It flows well.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's like a rapper.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just like a rapper.
Yeah.
Me. Yeah, should we go into a little bit more detail about what it is, Liam?
Yeah, sure.
So, like Liam got from the blurby bit on the back.
Yeah.
Every 90 years, 12 gods come back.
Yeah.
And you're following Laura, who's not a god.
She's like a fan girl.
Yeah, she's like someone who... So basically the gods, when they come back, have like cult followings of people that just love and adore them. She's one of those people.
Although...
Like, is madly obsessed with them.
You say she's not a god.
Yeah, right at the end, maybe she's a god.
Well, yeah, there's definitely something happens at the end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so at the beginning, you're assuming she's not a god.
Oh yeah, well, at the beginning she isn't a god, right? There's no assumptions there.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how
It feels like it was a transferal of power, is what I was kind of taken away from that end bit.
Oh, really? See, I didn't read it that way, but maybe.
Okay.
Could be. Because when the gods die, they don't come back for 90 years.
No, they don't, but it doesn't mean they couldn't maybe necessarily... It's not that she is now that god, but maybe that god managed to transfer some of its power into her.
Maybe. But yeah, so you're following Laura as she it starts with her going to see one of the goddesses, oh my god.
Yeah,
Amaterasu.
I'm leaving all of the names up to Ellie because I'm not good with normal names, let alone these weird freaky deaky god names.
So she goes to see Amaterasu. Jesus Christ, Amaterasu.
Yeah.
Who is
should we say who it's written by?
That's a good point.
So this is written by Kieron Gillen.
Yep.
The artist is Jamie McKelvie. The colourist is Mathhew Wilson. The letterer is Clayton Cowles.
I don't think you need to mention the letterer.
The
we have this discussion every
designer
time.
is Hannah Donovan. It was edited by Chrissy Williams. This is a new one. Flatter, Dee Cunniffe. What's a flatter?
No idea.
Well, they helped make this book happen. There's also a guest colourist.
Good.
Nathan
right, cool.
Fairbairn.
Oh my god. Are you done?
Yep.
She goes to see this Amaterasu. That's not what it is, but I'm going to just say that.
Yeah.
And then she ends up meeting up with someone called Lucy, who is Lucifer.
Of course. But it's spelled like Luci, Lucy, as well.
Yeah, which is how you'd get it from Lucifer. I
yeah,
guess.
but like, well, I'm just saying that because I didn't necessarily make that connection when I very first read it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my god, that's Lucifer, until they kind of was like, that's Lucifer, and I was like, shit, that makes sense, I'm dumb.
Got you. That's fair. And then some bad shit happens, someone dies, one of the gods dies, and it's basically Laura trying to help this pantheon of 12 gods. Well, she's trying to help Lucifer figure out who the murderer is. but also trying to like figure out what's going on with the other gods because they're not that interested in who the murderer is, which is weird.
Yeah, so do you want to explain that murderer a bit more?
There's a murderer.
Well, no, but there's a lot of context around it, isn't it? Because it's Lucy basically gets arrested.
Right, so Lucy gets arrested for shooting 2 dudes with fire. It turns out one of Lucifer's powers is she can click her fingers and make flames appear.
Hence why I was saying transfer of power.
Yeah, which is what Laura ends up doing at the end. But
yeah.
She does that on 2 policemen who are going to shoot the gods.
Yeah.
Or not policemen, they're not even policemen, they're just random murderer people.
Yeah, it's not really that well explained yet.
No, they're just randomers with guns. They shoot up the room, Lucy blows them up, and then gets arrested for using her powers.
Yeah.
Because in this world, people don't believe that the gods are the gods.
Yeah.
There's this weird, they just think they're kids that are fucking around and don't know, just making it up, effectively.
Just kids that are a bit full of themselves, basically.
Yeah.
Which in this day and age, with the whole, the YouTubers and all that sort of stuff, it's not outside the realm of belief, is it?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I thought was interesting about it, was that sort of element of it.
Yeah.
But so she gets arrested, goes to court, jokingly threatens the judge, and is goes to just click her fingers to scare everyone, and when she does that, the judge's head explodes.
Yeah.
Which Lucifer is then that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Which no one believes her except Laura, and so Laura's then trying to figure out who actually blew up the judge's head.
Yeah. And that's it's basically then it's what's her face, the main one.
Which one?
The founder.
Ananke?
No, you've just said her name loads. The main character.
Laura? I just didn't think you'd have forgotten that name.
It's basically Laura going around meeting the other gods, trying to kind of figure out what's going on. But also she has got her own agenda in that she wants to become a god.
Yeah, she's got this obsession with them and wants to be one and is in love with 3 of them. And
there's also Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra is a journalist that is trying to help. Or no, she doesn't like the gods. She doesn't believe them.
But she's done a lot of academic writing around it and all that sort of stuff, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's meant to have a master's in mythology.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's trying to prove that they're not real or just interview them and get information about them.
Yeah.
And she ends up helping Laura. I'm not sure why.
No, I don't really know why either.
They don't super explain. I'm hoping it goes into it more, the connection between Laura and Cassandra, because they know each other.
Yeah.
But you're not really sure why.
It feels like there's a lot that's kind of assumed or not fully developed that I don't know if they necessarily plan to develop later, or they're just it's not massively important, so you don't really need to know the fact that these 2 people already know each other and have a bit of history there.
Well, I definitely think it was setting up for more.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But it could go either way, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It could just be they were it's not really crucial to the story.
But yeah, so you get Cassandra come in, who is kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the main overview of the story, really, isn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Some more shit happens. It ends with Lucifer dying, which is
a
bummer.
And it is basically just Laura trying to figure out who is behind this killing, because the killing is obviously, it was quite public. It kind of almost verifies the proof of these gods. Yeah. But it also makes them quite feared.
Yeah, because then right at the end, that's what Ananke says, doesn't she? Who basically Ananke is this. So the gods also die. I don't know if we explained that they die.
Oh yeah, we should explain it. After 2 years.
They come back every 90 years. 12 gods come back, and they inhabit the body of someone who already exists. So these are all people that had normal lives and then one day became gods.
They're teenagers.
Yeah.
Crucially.
And then Ananke is this old woman who doesn't die, but seems to she's connected to it. She has all the powers as well.
Yeah.
She's involved in bringing them back, and she also is involved in potentially their deaths.
Yeah, and there's also something that I can't quite fully remember, but there is something about, for her to carry on living, people have to carry on there's something about the gods that basically allow her to I can't remember it. Help.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, there is some weird thing where she's in charge of not monitoring, but making sure these gods don't get out of control.
Yeah.
Because if they do get out of control, that's going to jeopardize her existence somehow.
Oh, I just thought it was going to jeopardize the gods' existence.
Oh, I thought she was part of that.
Well, she is one of the gods, yeah.
Yeah, but she kind of doesn't come back, does she? She just seems to always exist, right?
Yeah, I think she's perpetually there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I think I understand you. Maybe.
I'm just reading the section now to see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
You entertain the listeners while I try and figure this out.
Well, that'd be weird because we're meant to be discussing this together.
Yeah, but I had to entertain them earlier while you went to get a drink.
What you did was not entertainment. You're going to read spoilers.
And? No, I'm reading the actual comic, not the Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here we go. So basically, right, here we go. So there's a bit where one of the gods says, Lucifer has to stay in her cell until the killer is found. Until then, it keeps her safe, it keeps us all safe. And what's the old lady god called?
Ananke?
Yeah. She says, there have been times when it's all gone wrong. The humans are not as defensive as they think. Lucifer has always had trouble believing in the gods, including herself. We must make the world understand how unlike the rest of the pantheon the Great Rebel is. Otherwise, this risks being the last recurrence, and inspiration will leave the world forever. Humanity would not realise what it had lost until it was gone.
Got you,
so
right,
that's why she's trying to, like, control this situation.
Yeah, because there is a way that the gods will stop coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it will be bad for everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry, that might be really boring, just me, like, reading out passages of the comic. But
yeah.
I knew there was, like, a reason.
No, it's fair. It was relevant to what you were talking about.
Yeah. The artwork's really good.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What?
That's always what you go to when you don't like, or not that you don't like something, when you have nothing to say about something. Your default is just, I really like the art.
Not the artwork's really good, but also, like, the page layout.
Yeah? How do you mean?
Like, there's certain pages, right, that are really nicely laid out, where it'll be like a double page spread or something, and it'll be like all black, but with like the text sort of cascading down in like a diagonal direction sort of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And there's like another bit where there's like a load of crows, and they slowly like swarm in on the page.
Yeah, that's a good bit. I know. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, I like the way it's laid out.
Yeah, it is really a really nice comic.
Yeah, and I think that helps with what you were saying with the good flow it's got.
Yes, that's fair.
And it's got good colours.
But yeah, the colourist did a good job.
Yeah, well done, Mathhew Wilson.
Is that you out of things you liked?
I mean, so here's the thing, right?
Go on.
It's a bit like Your Name. I finished reading this and I said to Kat, I thought it was alright. Ellie's gonna fucking love this because this is right up your street. All this like
what
God
does that
bullshit.
mean though?
You love all the weird gods and shit like that. There's like a quite a heavy not heavy, but like a fantasy element to it all.
I mean, not really. Is there?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
What bit?
Gods.
Right. Okay.
I mean, the whole concept.
Right. So I think what you meant to say there instead of fantasy is fiction.
Yeah.
It's not got a fantasy element in the.
No, it's quite fantastical.
Fantasy.
It's not like fantasy like elves and shit.
Yeah. Well, don't use the word fantasy because that's what everyone assumes when you say fantasy.
Well, what's the right word then?
Fictional.
Yeah.
Mystical. Mythical.
Mythical. That's right up your street. You love the mythical bullshit.
I mean, this is the thing, Liam. You always tell me that you're not trying to attack me on these shows, but then you call it the mythical bullshit.
Yeah, but I say it endearingly.
You don't.
I do.
Mate.
I do.
You've got to remember you've got the monotone voice.
I know, but it's intended endearingly.
Right, good, thanks.
After like 50 plus shows, I was hoping that you'd have learnt to read between the lines.
Oh no, I know how, but
yeah,
listeners won't.
Well, no, they should have listened to the 50 plus shows then. I think Amanda would be able to because she listens to every episode.
Yes. Lee and Jason probably could because they've podcasted with you.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
fuck
you.
Right, this is your sort of thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And for me, I liked it. It's exactly like Your Name, where I'm like, I liked it, but I don't have a lot to say about it. It didn't really make me do a lot of thinking. There was nothing for me to dwell upon. It was okay. It was decent, but I'm not crazy about it.
I mean, okay, so counter to the like, there's not a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, one, on a very base level, there's a murder mystery.
Yeah, but okay, but so what I mean by that, right? Let me just clarify myself.
Yep, please do.
I'm not sat here being like, shit, I can't wait to read the next one. I've already got it ordered off Amazon. I can't wait to figure out what happens next, which we've had with stuff that we've done in the past.
Yeah.
With this one, there is a murder mystery there. I don't really care who did it at the end of the day. Like, I like the story and everything, but not enough to want to carry on reading it, and that's the crucial issue, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't get that, but that's because I did love it, and I want to read the next one.
Yeah, and I think you'll like the next one, to be honest.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah, for me, it comes down to I've got so much other stuff that I would rather read that I don't want to commit myself to getting into this series as well, because I didn't like it that much.
Okay.
But what it did do in this first one, I think is a great way of doing what first volume should do, which is it introduces you to like the flavour of this. Like I kind of imagine that a lot of people who would read this would immediately know if they want to continue with it or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I get that.
Yeah.
On a second level of things you could think about.
Yeah.
This isn't me arguing with you. This is just I wanted to continue it because it's an actual point.
Yeah, go for it.
Is the fact that this is like one of the best representations of the LGBT community that I've read in a graphic novel.
Is that because it isn't really like making a point of representing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
It does. Like, no one in this comic is going like, when one of the characters is like, yeah, and I had sex with this girl and I had sex with this guy. No one's going like, whoa, what? And the person saying it isn't saying it to be like, look how crazy I am for having sex with a girl and a guy.
Yeah, yeah.
The person's just like, yeah, this is what, yeah, I did that. And people are like, yep, you do that. That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've got that. You've got a trans character. The lead character is mixed race. Like, it's a very...
Well, she's not LGBT. That's not LGBT, Liam.
No, sorry. I was about to make the point.
It's good representation of everyone.
Yeah, I was about to make the point that the comic is very diverse.
It is.
Yeah. I am aware that race does not equate to...
I know you do. I just...
Yeah, it's a very diverse comic.
Yeah.
It's quite refreshing in that, like, there's not really any, like, white male characters, I don't think. Like, because even there's like one god dude that's a white male, isn't he?
Baphomet?
Yeah, one of them. But which is refreshing, really, to have that few characters.
I mean, I don't want there to be no characters like that, but it's nice to have a varied cast.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like, I think, like, say, like, the blue is the warmest colour, for example, and potentially other, like, LGBTQ comics that kind of, like, are all about representing that in a way that's, like, the key point of it, almost. Yeah. That's what was refreshing about this, is that it was just, like, background information. Yeah, which is what it should be most of the time. Yeah, that to me is like normalising it, which is how it should be. Yeah, it's good. Did you know before reading it that it had a trans character in it? Nope, I had no idea. Yeah, same. And I didn't even know that character was trans until like later on in the comic. Yeah, it specifically gets mentioned when Lucifer apologises for being mean. Yeah, because basically. She's trans. Yeah. Which I didn't initially pick up on with the initial meanness. No, I had to go back and read the insult. Yeah, I did the same. And it's not a horrendous. I was like, really? Did I miss like something that's really mean? It's not horrendous, but once you get that piece of information, you understand why it is mean. Yeah, because at the time when I first read the insult, which is just Lucifer says to Cassandra something about like, oh, is that even your name or something? Do you want me to find it? Yeah, it's pretty early on, isn't it? Yeah, it's during the like initial interview. Yeah. Are you actually called Cassandra, or are you just another hypocritical little parasite? Yeah, and the Cassandra has like quotation marks around it. Yeah. Now, so when I first read that, I kind of got the idea that it was more about Cassandra trying to make a name for herself. Yeah. By in the journalistic world. Exactly. Yeah, and then later on, Lucifer's like, "No, I knew you were trans, and I was just being a dick." Yeah. And Cassandra's like, "Yep, and I don't forgive you, but I understand." Did we mention that Lucifer's portrayed as a woman? Yeah, like, I know we said Lucy, but yeah. So, yeah, the gods can go, it appears, come back in any form. Yeah, but they don't get... you said, any form that's a teenager. Do they have to be a teenager? Or do we know that for sure? Yeah, I think they have to be, because so every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. Oh, okay. So, and that's one of the whole, like, key things that they're talking about is you're a teenager, you suddenly become this god. And then you only live for 2 years. Yeah, and it's like that whole, like, dealing with that kind of... Responsibility is the wrong word, but dealing with the weight of knowing that, I guess. But that is counterbalanced by having these like godlike powers and having people like fawn over you and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I thought from reading the description and like how it opened and stuff, I thought it would be more focused on that whole like, you know how one of the gods is basically a pop star. They're all sort of performers, but there's Ammo one. I initially thought that more would be about that like duality of them being these performers. Well, it is the whole graphic novel is superly. It's super. It's super referential of the music scene. Yeah, like massively. Like Lucy is. They specifically say like you're a David Bowie wannabe, and she is. Like she has the Bowie androgynous thing going on. Yeah. And, like, the scene where they meet the Morrigan and Baphomet is all in an underground... Punky type thing, literally in an underground abandoned tube station because they're the representation of the underground music scene. Yeah. And there's, like, a lot of references to names of things that are actually, like, songs. Okay.
I can't remember what it was. There was one that I was looking up about Morrigan, and it was like a famous name of some song from America, and I was like, oh, and it was like an underground song, and I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
But like that, I want to talk about the things I like, Liam.
Go for it. I'm not stopping you.
Because I'm happy, and I liked this book.
Yeah.
Right. I do love mythology. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an Egyptologist and study Egyptian gods because I thought they were fascinating. And I think
when did that change?
Well, I wanted to be a paleontologist, then I wanted to be an Egyptologist, then I wasn't getting the grades for that, so I decided I wanted to be a video game developer. Then I didn't get the grades for that. So I did digital media at university, and now I'm a web developer. So, woohoo!
It all worked out in the end.
Yeah, perfect. I don't wish that I was studying the ancient Egyptian gods.
I watched a really interesting documentary the other day called Jim and Andy, which was about Jim Carrey portraying Andy Kaufman in the movie Man on the Moon. And there's a really touching bit where he was talking about how his dad was like really funny. And I can't remember what it was he wanted to be. It was a musician. But once he's like had the responsibility of a family, he decided to stop trying to pursue the music career. And it wasn't like a singer; it was like a saxophonist, I think.
Yeah.
And he became an accountant. And he said in his mid-50s he got fired from his accountancy job. And he said it was really like it made him realise you might as well try and do what you want to do because you can fail at doing stuff that you don't even want to do. And that was like he said he had so much respect for his dad for kind of making that decision to like support his family. But equally, like, it was so heartbreaking that he didn't get to fulfill his dream. Yeah. It's a good documentary.
I'll watch it at some point. Thanks for distracting completely.
Well, no, it's just you talking about, where you are now and what you wanted to be. Maybe you should look back into it.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if I think it's quite a weird jump to suddenly go back to being an Egyptologist.
Why?
I don't know. Anyway.
This is 2018, the year of optimism. That's
true. I'm becoming an Egyptologist, everyone. Get yourselves ready for this podcast to become an Egyptology podcast. I really like the way this graphic novel takes like these ancient mythological characters and puts them in like a modern spin. So like, it takes the whole like Lucifer, who I'm sure is one that even you, Liam, and your anti-religion, no matter what religion it is, ways would know a bit about Lucifer.
Devil.
Yeah, pretty much.
Satan.
Fallen angel, bit of a baddie.
Naughty.
And in this they focus on the rebellious nature of that, and they put it in like a modern spin. So instead of being just like, oh, Lucifer, it's Satan, it's the baddie, she's just like this rebellious teenager who kind of dicks with people, but not anything ridiculously mean, apart from setting those guys on fire at the beginning. But
but I mean, they were shooting at her.
Yeah, exactly. That's like there's a whole element to that character where like it feels like she's not trying to be good, but it felt like she was a good person who just sort of is trying to live up to the name of Lucifer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like from what we see, we don't really see her do anything that bad.
But I mean, like it's more like the thing she says. Like, she says that Amaterasu, who's this like supposedly this lovely god who's just all nice, couldn't hurt a fly. She describes her as my best friend because she tried to fuck with her, and because she's so nice, she just ignored it. So then they just became best friends instead. Yeah. And I was like, that's like, if you were this god of evil, that's not what you do. You don't become best friends with people. No, definitely not. And I don't know, so it's like this kind of adorable, like, and then like, you've got the Morrigan, who is an ancient Celtic god, and Baphomet, who's like some also pagan god, and they have like this sort of really dramatic goth teenager showdown in the subway where they like look like they're on the verge of killing each other, and then are both like, Well, Laura kind of distracts them from it, don't she? Yeah, she makes some over-the-top thing. I think she's trying to show them, like, oh, you're being so dramatic. Yeah. And then they're both like, yeah, she's right. Which I was like, that's kind of cool. I like that it's like they've taken these god characters and given them, like, teenage attitudes. Yeah. Where they can be dramatic and a bit over-the-top and just need someone to go, what are you doing? Stop. I don't know. I think it's an interesting take on mythological characters, which I really like. Yeah, I think so, but I don't know. Yeah, no, you're just boring. That's fine. Yeah, it's just... I guess, like, for you into all this sort of shit, then it's probably an interesting take because, you're kind of familiar with the bog standard version of it, if you will. Yeah, but I mean, everyone knows Lucifer. Yeah, I didn't know any of the others. I didn't know Amaterasu. Yeah. I know Baphomet. I know Woden. You know Woden. Yeah. Because it's Odin. Yeah. Oh, also, quick question. Yeah. The beginning
The beginning, like, literally, like, I don't know, 5 pages or so.
Yes.
What was that all about?
I think it's a flash forward.
No, it's what? It's a flashback.
Is it?
Well, it literally, because the certain sections are given times, right? So this is the time is given is the 31st of December 1923.
Wait, where does it say that?
Literally, right.
Oh yeah, on that bit. Yeah, okay, yeah. No,
So
sorry.
it's from like the 1920s. So I'm assuming this is like the previous round of the gods.
Yeah,
but it just seemed like
cycle,
a really odd way to introduce this comic because it gives you like such little explanation of what's going on.
Yeah, but that's interesting, right?
But that's what I was going to say. Do you think they're going to come back to that at all, or do you think that's just going to be left there?
I'm assuming that stuff from past cycles is going to be relevant later on.
Okay.
Because that's a bit that does interest me. Like, I want to see more of these gods because it's almost seems like a random 12 that appear.
Yeah.
So I'm like interested in seeing other ones and how they are different.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep reading this graphic novel in. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and I do want you to kind of talk about it in housekeeping because that might inspire me to give like another one like volume 2 a go.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh my god, yeah, it's really amazing, and you know that whole murder mystery thing is really interesting, I might be curious enough to give the second one a go. But at the moment, I'm not.
I've just noticed something. Sorry.
Yeah.
That I think is quite cool, which is on the scene where Lucifer blows up the judge's head.
Yeah.
On that specific panel, like which is a full-page spread.
Yeah.
It's all done in a pop art style.
Yeah. How did you not notice that at the time?
Because I was staring at the blood and being like, look at the blood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's really pop arty.
Yeah, which is cool. Again, I think this is like heavily inspired by.
There's another.
Pop
culture. There's another bit that I noticed. I kind of didn't notice immediately, and then went back and looked where. You've got a main character talking, and then in the background, Laura is doing something, and that happens for like 3 panels, and then she's called out on what she's doing on like the 4th panel. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I remember like looking back and being like, "Oh, that was kind of neat the way they kind of did that."
Ooh.
I can't remember exactly where it is though. Oh yeah, sorry. So it is towards. So you know when they get shot at towards the beginning, right?
Yeah.
In the background, Laura's playing with a laser pointer.
I'm just trying to find the page.
It's right near the beginning. So, like, she's playing with a laser pointer. She points it at a sofa. Lucy kind of jumps on the sofa. No, sorry, not Lucy. Sakhmet. And Lucy says, whoever's teasing Sakhmet with the laser pointer has to stop. This isn't funny. Actually, it is, but... And there was like, this pointer. And that's before all of the shooting starts.
No, that's not Laura playing with the laser pointer.
Yeah, no, right. Sorry. Yeah, but if you look, right... So, Laura's there with the pointer. Look on the page opposite that. You can see her showing it on her hand. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't think that's Laura pointing it at things, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I hadn't noticed her playing with the pointer.
No, I hadn't seen that either.
That's what I'm saying. So I saw that and then looked back and was like, oh, that's cool the way that kind of connected there.
Yeah, they've got some really good attention to detail in this.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
I see, yeah, sorry.
I just did it like a around the houses way because I don't have a lot to say, so I was filling time. You did it in the nerd on
nerd way, which is where we're both very bad at trying to explain what we mean.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I would recommend people go read this if they're interested in mythology or pop culture or.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, what would you say who would you recommend this to? What sort of person?
I think most people. I'd tell most people to give it a try. If they didn't like the first one.
I don't think Kat would enjoy this. I would not recommend it to her.
No.
Nah, she's not into the whole like mythology stuff. Like she'd be curious about.
I don't think you have to be into mythology to get it though.
No, not to get it, but it's such a huge part of it. Like I think she would find the whole murder mystery thing interesting, but the whole god stuff she'd be like, I'm not interested in.
I'm recommending it to you, Kat.
Okay, well, Kat, I've got it. If you want to read it, so read it and then let us know. Was I right to not recommend it to you, or was Ellie right?
We'll see. We will find out.
She won't read.
Well, then that's just not fair.
Yeah,
it's not a fair test.
Well, she won't be able to say if either of us was right or wrong if she doesn't read it.
Come on, Kat, read it.
I don't think you'll like it.
Stop listening to Liam.
I mean, all I would say is how often am I wrong? Here's the thing with Kat, right? I love her and everything, but the first season of Gilmore Girls, every time I watched it, she was like, oh, I hate it. Oh, Lorelai's a terrible mother. Oh, I hate the way they talk. She was fucking addicted to it by the end of it. She couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wear her down with things.
Yep.
Out of 5?
I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, so we're not actually that far off. I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Your rating system does confuse me somewhat.
As I keep saying, I did like it. I just didn't.
No, that's not it. But I'd imagine most 3.5 things you'd keep watching. Like, that you gave The Good Place a 3.5.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I wasn't insulting your whether you liked it or not. I was
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe it should be a 3 out of 5. Yeah, 3 out of 5 makes more sense. Yeah.
See, I was right.
No, I thought about it.
I was right and Liam was wrong after making a point of how he's always right.
Which just goes to show I'm open to listening to other opinions.
Are you?
Clearly. I think 3 out of 5 is... The thing is, it was a very low 3.5 out of 5, and you managed to talk me down.
That's fine, I don't care.
Like, Good Place was a high 3... Like, I was toying with the idea of giving it a 4 out of 5, in all honesty. But it turned out just 3.5.
Fair enough.
Fair
enough.
But yeah, 3 out of 5, I think that's fair. It's just okay, isn't it?
No, it's really good.
Dear listener...
I don't know why you added the isn't it to the end of that, because you knew that I was going to disagree.
Yeah, so that would lead me on to say, dear listener, have you read The Wicked and the Divine Volume 1, the Faust Act? If you have, let us know. Did you like it? Did you read more?
If you haven't, let us know if you will.
Yeah. Have you read Volume 2? Should I read Volume 2? Would I like Volume 2?
Ellie's going to read Volume 2 no matter what.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Am I more likely to listen to you, dear listener, or to Ellie? Probably.
I mean, me and the listeners are listening, so that probably you didn't make much sense.
Yeah, but that was to the listeners.
Well, we had a fortunate week where I got something that I wanted, Liam, accidentally.
That's the second time that's happened so far in 2018, but...
Well, one time was I picked something that I wanted.
Yeah, and this time was like we both kind of picked it.
We both agreed to it with no idea what we were getting, and it just happened that it was something I wanted.
So we should actually keep tally of who's enjoyed the culture swaps the most.
Why?
I just think it'd be interesting. That's 2 to you so far, and I know
it's
that
going to end
next
up being
time,
you, I think.
Next time, I know
actually, no,
it's
it
going
will
to
end up
me.
being me because I'm much more willing to like stuff.
Let's find out.
Or I'm easier to please.
Let's find out, because next time it's going to be me.
Well, no, I'm also going to like it. I know I like it.
Yeah, but not as much as I do.
Not as much as you.
Yeah.
Because next time, listeners, we're doing the long-awaited High School Musical 2.
A lot of people enjoyed our High School Musical episode.
Did a lot of people enjoy the video we posted of me dancing?
Probably. Are there going to be more videos of that?
Probably not.
That's a shame.
Well, it depends how much alcohol we have.
Yeah, I guess. I'm in an R in, right? Because I want to do the High School Musical day. Like, definitely, for sure. That's happening. But I also want to go to the Chinese, okay? So here's what I'm thinking. What if we did the Chinese for lunch, and then we could have, like, the High School Musical afternoon, and we could just drink as much as we want because we don't have to go out that night.
That makes more sense to me.
That makes so much sense. Oh, it's such a good idea.
You're such a genius, Liam. Anyway, yeah, so High School Musical 2, if you've already watched High School Musical 2, which, spoiler alert, we have, we didn't officially do it for the podcast.
No, because you get funny if I try and do more than one film for the culture swap.
Yeah, weird that. So if you've already listened to it, watched it, let us know what you think about High School Musical 2.
Yeah. I'm excited because when we watched High School Musical 1, I was given a very strict rule that I wasn't allowed to sing or dance.
It's because I didn't want my first experience with it. I knew that would just make it worse for me.
Yeah, but now that you've already had that first experience...
we're both going to be singing.
All bets are off. Dear listener, check this, right?
Check this. Where are you? When are you from? Grandpa?
I've been listening...
Check out this rad story.
I've been listening to a playlist on this hip app called Spotify, right? And the playlist is just all of the songs from the High School Musical trilogy. Now, I've been listening to this pretty much non-stop. Every day when I have a shower, I listen to it. Sometimes in the car, sometimes just for fun. Since about early December, maybe even late November. So I'll have had like a solid 2 months where I've just been doing nothing but listening to the High School Musical playlist. So I am so prepared for watching these 3 movies. All the lyrics in my head, ready to go.
I do worry about you sometimes.
Why?
That can't be healthy.
What?
Just non-stop High School Musical.
I don't know. I remember like at the end of last year, everyone was doing the whole like, oh look, Spotify has told me everything I listened to this year, and mine was very predominantly skewed to High School Musical, and that was after only a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
It's brilliant.
I will admit, Carly Rae Jepsen got up on mine just because of that Cut to the Feeling song, because it's a fucking good song.
Well, will High School Musical make the entry on 2018, I wonder?
Let us know. And how do they do that, Liam? Smooth segue.
They could tweet us at NerdOnNerd. They could email us nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com. They could Facebook us, facebook.com/nerdonnerdpod.
I think it's Nerd on Nerd Pod.
Nerd on Nerd Pod. I don't think there's dashes. I think last time, on the last episode, you said there were dashes, and I'm sure there isn't.
I might just be lying, people.
I think it's just /NerdOnNerdPod. Facebook.com/nerdonnerdpod.
All one
There's
word.
no da- if you're adding dashes, I don't know where you're going, but you ain't going where
I don't
you need
think
to
you
be
should
going.
add dashes anywhere.
Nah. Oh, don't forget YouTube. That's making a comeback.
It's back.
Don't call it a comeback.
It's made a comeback.
What's that from? The whole "don't call it a comeback." Some like
No idea.
emo shit, I think.
Did you say emo shit?
Yeah, like My Chemical Romance or something.
Fair enough.
Don't call it a comeback.
We're getting distracted.
Oh, apparently it's from LL Cool J. Mama said knock you out. It's
Oh,
the
very
lyrics.
emo. YouTube's
I thought it
not
was
made
from
a comeback.
some emo thing.
Shut up. It's re-emerged. YouTube has re-emerged.
We've basically tried to do a little workaround so YouTube can get off its fucking tits about it's copyright bullshit.
Copyright.
Fucking copyright.
Yeah. So go back there, guys. Stuff will be going on there. How are you doing it, Liam? You're doing.
We've got a schedule going up, right? So here's what we did. We didn't want to just flood YouTube with everything.
No.
So we're basically posting practically daily until we've caught up, which is going to take over a year, I'm aware. The schedule is on Mondays, we'll do catching up with. So this week, for example, last week we did episode 1. This week we're doing episode 2. Mondays you'll find catching up with. Tuesdays you'll find the reviews of the shit that we've seen. Wednesdays will be either nerd news. Do you remember when we did nerd news?
Yeah, jeez.
Used to do nerd news. Or now it'll be housekeeping, because that's quite a new thing. Thursdays will be culture swaps. And then Fridays is the full episode.
And then Saturdays and Sundays are nothing.
Unless we have exclusives. If we've got some exclusives.
Is that what we're calling them? Exclusives.
Exclusives.
We're going to bust out some of our exclusives.
Got some exclusives going up.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's what about. Do you know what I found the footage of the other day?
Yeah?
D&D.
No, I mean, I don't, so no.
When we did the D&D that we filmed.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I found the footage of that.
Maybe we should just burn that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the Nerd on Nerd podcast. I've been Liam Underwood.
I've been Ellie Kempster.
You've been a fantastic listener. Thank you for sticking with us till the end of this nearly 2-hour episode. You're brilliant.
Any final thoughts, Liam?
Bye.
Bye.